Have you ever wondered why the pinnacle of sim racing seems to be GT3? I've thought very long and hard about this. Long and hard. Well, I have. And I have some solutions. I've raced about 3,000 races on iRacing. I've got 9,000 rating on the Formula side. And I've raced real cars. I've raced Formula 2, Formula 3, Formula 4, karting. And I hate seeing formulas get a fraction of the sign-ups of sports cars on iRacing. I've come up with 6 solutions, so stick with it. Let's start with the simple ones. Number 1, Indycar Road Series. People need a functioning pinnacle Formula Series, otherwise they just leave. I think they should start with the Indycar. At the moment, very few people drive it. They have reasonably regular oval participation, but on the road side, pretty much nothing. They need a road series. The thing the Indycar has got going for it is it's got great strategy options. You can change your tires. You've got 2 different compounds. You've got fuel that you have to refuel in a 45-minute race, plus the official license. And the car is not that difficult to drive. If they just had a road series, basically to mirror what they have on the IMSA side, you know, you have an A license IndyCar series for open, 40 minutes, 45 minutes, and then you have a fixed one, 35 minutes, 30 minutes, alternating, so you can run both of them. It's that simple. Obviously, the Indy 500 is an amazing special event and should be protected at all costs. But this also brings me on to my second point, Formula special events.
Where's the special events?
Why are there only 2 Formula special events? And why is there no IndyCar special event on road? If anyone could give me a reasonable answer to that, I'd be very happy because it's been doing my absolute head in. So, for the longest time, there wasn't a single special event for Formula cars. I think 3 years ago, they added the BRSCC FF1600 Festival, which mirrors the real-life British Formula Ford Festival. Fantastic event. Good, lovely, brilliant. I've done it twice. I won it.
Emil Bernstorff controlled the end of this race and wins.
Gotta get that in as well. But it's a great special event. Mirrors the real life thing. Fantastic. Wonderful. That was the only one. That was iRacing's first ever Formula special event. At least as far as I know in the last, unless there was one in 2008. This year, we've got the Mountain Showdown, I think, for the Super Formula Lights car. This is an event to mirror the Macau Grand Prix. Fantastic. Wonderful. Would be absolutely amazing to get Macau, but they don't have it. So now we have 2 Formula special events. I've made a list of Formula special events that I think should be on iRacing. So first of all, we need at least 1 IndyCar road special event. This could be Long Beach, St. Petersburg is coming soon, could be a Grand Prix of St. Petersburg, could be Alabama Grand Prix, could be Road America, could be the season finale at Laguna Seca. I don't care. I just want a special event. Long Beach is the obvious one. Just do that. Before everyone starts saying, yeah, but you've got the season-long series. I know, but none of them are special events. You have the season-long NASCAR iRacing series as well, and they do a great job where they take a race like the Daytona 500, the Coke 600 or World 600, whatever they want to call it this year. They change it from just a normal event on the season-long schedule to a special event. And that means people who don't normally run this series, they come in, they go like, oh, there's a special event this weekend, let's do it. So just do that for IndyCar. Same with Formula 1. There's the iRacing Grand Prix Tour, which gets reasonable signups. They run the F1 car in 100% distance races. It's probably my favorite series on iRacing. But why don't they have Spa Grand Prix, Silverstone Grand Prix, Monza Grand Prix? I'm sure there's a bunch of other good ones that would be there as well. I'd say probably 3 of them would be a good amount. 3, 4, who knows? I'm aware there might be licensing issues. And if so, I get it. Okay, fine. Whatever. But if not, do it. Oh my God. So those are the 2 ones. So that's IndyCar, Formula 1. Now, what about Super Formula? I would be astounded if they don't have the licensing rights to run on iRacing a 100% full distance Super Formula special event. Let's say at a track like Suzuka. I love Suzuka. Many people love Suzuka. Make that a special event. Yeah, so those are in the top level. We can go down to the lower level. Obviously, we have the Super Formula Lights Mountain Showdown this year. We have the BRSCC FF1600. Why not have a Masters of Formula 3 at Zandvoort? I did that race once. I finished 3rd. I got a nice hat for it as well. And a trophy, but I don't know what the trophy is. I won this hat. It really happened. Just do it. They have the car. They have the track. Just do it. We could also have a Formula 4 World Final. They used to have that in Formula BMW. They would take the Asian, the European, and the American Formula BMW series and bring them together in, I think it was Bahrain they did it one year. Do that in iRacing would be great. I mean, everyone runs F4. People would love an F4 special event. Finally, the historic Grand Prix. This one's less important. People don't really race historics. But, I mean, we have the Road America 500. For those that don't know, features IMSA vintage cars. Just do the same exact thing for the historic F1 cars. You can have the Lotus 79 doing a US Grand Prix in Watkins Glen, 100% race distance. Again, I know they have the vintage GP series, but make it a special event. And the Lotus 49 can have a German Grand Prix at the Nordschleife. iRacing, please do Formula special events. This is a bit silly that there aren't any. Okay, there's two. 2 out of like 30 this year. 2 out of 30 is not good enough. How do you expect formulas to do well if you don't have basically any special events? All right, that special events covered. Let's move on to the next point, the license system. I believe they need to rejig the license structure in formulas. Here is what we have right now. I think the R license cars are good. They make sense. Let's just leave them as they are. Formula Ford 1600 and V in rookies. Happy, works well, good. Now we have F4 D license. Again, it is where it belongs. It's a beginner friendly car. It's got decent participation. Nothing wrong with that. Good. We get to C. So there's F3 and Super Formula Lights. I think again, these are where they should be. Now, this is where we divulge a little bit from the current system. Indy NXT goes into B. This is because the car is a little bit harder to drive than the Super Formula Light and the F3. It's got more power. It just requires a step up in driving ability. Currently, iRacing wants you to be going from the Super Formula Light to the Super Formula, which is just really difficult. The Super Formula Light is one of the easiest cars to drive on iRacing, and the Super Formula is one of the most difficult cars to drive. And this is where people just don't progress. This is where the Formula ladder stops. So now we have the NXT to bridge that gap. Then we get to A license. Now, this is where you have all the top level series. So you have Indycar, you have Super Formula. So yeah, you have them in A license. They are almost the pinnacle of motorsport. They need a license that reflects that. A license. Makes no sense to put them at B when they are some of the most difficult cars to drive on iRacing. And now finally, I was considering leaving the F1 in A, but I just thought it'd be kind of fun and realistic to have an S license for the F1 car to kind of reflect the elite status it has in real life. And the S obviously stands for super license. So that's the structure that I propose. The main problem being that going from Super Formula Light to Super Formula or IndyCar is just too big a step. So you put the NXT at B. So we've had a look at all the easy stuff. Now we're going to go into the more difficult things that iRacing needs to fix in order to get open wheel participation. The first thing is the F1 tires. The current F1s have nearly always been some of the worst cars on iRacing, some of the worst modeled cars on iRacing. The tires are just a little bit underdeveloped. At the moment, the W13 is unrealistically difficult to drive. Here's some footage of Max Verstappen driving the current F1 car on iRacing. When was the last time you saw Max go way too fast into a corner, understeer, and then spin on throttle instantly like this? The tires are on such a knife edge, you can tell it's just not how it's supposed to be. That's why the real drivers look elsewhere.
Which scene do you use to prepare for Formula One races?
Well, I think now lately we use mainly Assetto Corsa.
Yeah.
But it's not the Assetto Corsa that you can buy on Steam.
It is.
Yeah, the same one.
Yeah, they have a bit modified mods.
I like the W13. I think some of the best racing on iRacing is in the iRacing Grand Prix Tour series. You have DRS, you have tire changes, there's strategy, there's overtaking opportunities. The cars don't have the insane dirty air they do in real life. But in its current state, the F1 car is just unrealistically difficult to drive, and that turns off the average person. This brings me on to driver aids. So obviously real life Formula cars don't have traction control or ABS, but I believe that iRacing should implement some form of traction control and ABS into the higher powered open wheel cars. The reason for this is because so many people get so frustrated with traction control and ABS getting in the way of them having fun, driving a car, racing it around a track. And that's part of why participation goes low in these higher powered open wheelers. If iRacing could just introduce a traction control, either make it way overpowered so that you couldn't possibly be quicker than a driver not using traction control and ABS, or just allow it in practice. People can slowly turn it off when they're practicing a car up to the point where they get comfortable and they feel like, okay, now I can do it. Prototypes, GTs, they all have it. So iRacing's got it in the game, sim. They just need to add it in practice to the Formula cars. Last thing I have is the contact model. iRacing does have a bit of a problem with its netcodes, particularly on the Formula stuff. You can get netcoded from miles away, especially in the F1 cars, the Indy cars. Sensational netcodes happen nearly in every race. If they could make a more forgiving contact model that doesn't immediately terminate your race or send you into the stratosphere for even looking at a car the wrong way, that would be a huge thing. Because at the moment, you can't really get within a meter of each other without potentially suffering race-ending consequences. And that needs to be addressed. That's about it. I mean, that's all I have. I mean, to me, it just doesn't make any sense that the pinnacle of sim racing is GT3. F1's the most popular motorsport in the world by far. And iRacing would grow massively if they can sort out the Formula side. iRacing, if you're listening, please take this, iRacing, put it into your sim. Thank me later. I'm not asking for commission. Maybe only a couple mil, so I can go racing in F2 again. Other than that, yeah, I appreciate you guys listening. This is something that actually means quite a lot to me because I race a lot on iRacing and I really want the Formula side to do well. Yeah, guys, if you have any suggestions, put them in the comments. Thanks for watching this video and I'll see you guys in the next one.